Oh, you good? Hey, man, what have you done there? What's that thing? Jacket on? Ready one? Fine, yourself. Good. Good. Busy this summer? It's supposed to be all right. All right. We ain't got there yet. Right. I'm good. I'm good. There should not. Okay. That's good. All right.
The special board meeting of the HABD Board of Commissioners is now called to order. We'll start with a moment of silence. All right. Roll call. Vice Chairman Todd. Commissioner Jackson.
Here.
Commissioner Clark. Here. Commissioner Lewis. All right, we have a quorum. All right, adoption of the agenda. And what we'd like to do, if it pleases this board, we'd like to move a couple things around. Item 6, we're going to discuss item 6 briefly, and from there we will go into executive session. If it's a pleasure of this board to discuss the pending contract.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we let the document as changed by you.
All right. Can I get a second? All right, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor? All opposed? All right, the agenda is adopted. So what we're going to do briefly is discuss the timeline for protected services. As you well know, the board approved the resolution to move forward with the city of Birmingham to handle our protective services above baseline services. And so what I'd like to do right now is just allow Mr. Lundy a couple minutes to give us a timeline to see where we are on moving forward with the city of Birmingham, High Cops, and where we are with the Sheriff's Department. And I just want to make sure that we're moving this ball down the field here based on the resolution that was passed. And I just want to make sure that we are, we don't have any type of duplication of services or things of that nature where we may have to pay both entities if we don't have to. So just want to make sure we're being a good steward of the public funds. So, but Mr. Lundy, you go ahead. We'll allow you to speak here. Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, Commissioners. I'd like to start off with an announcement of a new hire, a recent hire to the Housing Authority of Birmingham District, our Director of Public Safety, which is very pertinent to this discussion this morning. It's my pleasure to introduce to you officially Mr. Ken Foreman, who is our new Director of Public Safety. Mr. Foreman, would you stand, please, sir, while I just share with the commissioners and with the citizens a little bit about your background. Mr. Foreman comes to us from the great city of Detroit, Michigan. He has over 25 years of experience in law enforcement. He's retired Deputy U.S. Marshal in Federal Criminal Investigations. He also served as Judicial Security Senior Inspector of the U.S. Marshal Service. Mr. Foreman has served also as a police officer on the beat. He's had some experience working in and out with the Housing Authority of Detroit, which is a large housing authority and one of the larger housing authorities in the country. He has, as his credentials, he has a BA in Family and Life Education and Counseling, and he also has an associate's degree of Applied Science and Law Enforcement Administration. So would you help me welcome Mr. Foreman to the Housing Authority? Thank you, sir. And maybe at some other time, Mr. Foreman, we'll, probably our next meeting, we'll have you say a few words to the group and to the commissioners. And so just wanted to welcome you to make the formal announcement of Mr. Foreman's new hire as here in the Housing Authority Birmingham District. With respect to the above baseline policing services for the Housing Authority Birmingham District through the Birmingham Police Department, as you know, this board approved a resolution on September 3rd to enter into an interagency agreement with the Birmingham Police Department. And on September the 10th, the Birmingham City Council approved the interagency agreement of above baseline services. Last week, I spoke briefly with Chief of Police and discussed scheduling a meeting for the kickoff to bring his team and my team in the same space to discuss the mechanics of begin the implementation of the above baseline services for policing throughout our 14 sites. And so we're working to put that meeting together. It's our hope that we'll have a meeting in place by this week, no later than next week. We're just trying to get with the chief's schedule to make sure that we're going to have everybody in the room. It's also my understanding that the city of Birmingham has to go through a couple other little steps of filing the agreement, as I understand it, through talking to our attorney, filing an agreement through to some district probate.
It's the probate judge's office and the Secretary of State, and they've not finished that process yet.
So that's just part of their legal requirement. I've also reached out and spoken with the sheriff of Jefferson County, and we had a conversation. And I mentioned to him that we were going to be moving forward with our agreement with the city police department, and that he could be expecting a notice that's consistent with our agreement with the sheriff's department of a 30-day notice, which is the proper thing to do. And so last week, I believe it was Friday, I sent a letter to the sheriff's department, giving them a 30-day notice for termination of services. Now, you know, one of the things, the nuances of this, this transition is that we want to ensure that we have some coverage on our sites at all times. So we really don't want to have a gap. And so I would envision that there could be a week or so where you might have two entities working, which I'd rather have that situation than a week or two where you've got one entity that's stopped and waiting for the other entity to begin their services. So it's a little bit of an art of trying to ensure that we have continuous services. So that's where we are right now. One of the things that I mentioned to the sheriff was that, you know, we may need to, even though I'm sending this 30-day notice, if the Birmingham Police Department is not ready to begin its service at the expiration of this notice, that we may have to extend it just a week or so, a few weeks longer. So that's what I have at this point.
All right, very good. Any questions concerning the protective services timelines? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. So now what we're about to do is, if it's a pleasure to this board, we need to go into executive session to discuss pending contract. Yeah, Reverend, go ahead.
Jim, before you go in, for the record, Commissioner Todd is here.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. We got that on the record. All right, very good, all right, very good, very good. All right, but yes, we need to go into executive session to discuss a pending contract. And if this pleasure this board, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss master development agreement.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor? All opposed?
Mr. Chairman, for the record, this is an appropriate executive session because this involves a disposition of real estate.
All right, very good. All right, and so we're about to go into executive session. We will be in executive session for approximately 30 to 45 minutes, and then we will reconvene at the call of the chair.